Welcome to the next tutorial in Python programming. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you something different. Until now, we have learned how we can use the command line tools to go ahead and create different kinds of program for our Python. But as of now, today, I'll be teaching you something different. I'll be teaching you how we can go ahead and work around the graphical user interface of Python. So in this chapter, you will learn how to make graphical user interfaces for our Python programs. In order for me to tell it in a simple language, we will learn how to create windows along with buttons, text fields, and some stuff like that. It will be pretty cool. So there are plenty of so-called such as GUI toolkits, graphic user interface toolkits available for Python, but none of them is recognized as a standard graphic user interface toolkit. And this has its advantages and drawbacks as well. So there are different types of graphical user interface toolkits such as WX Python. After that, there's one more called as Tincter, and other one that is for Java Python, that's Jython. But as of now, and today in this tutorial, I'll be teaching you the WX Python. And just to make sure that we're on the same page, in this tutorial, I'll be using Python 2.7.9, not Python 3.4. The codes are almost the same for Python 3.4 as well as 2.7.9. The only difference is that WX Python, this GUI is not available for Python, any version of Python which is greater than 3.0. I don't know the reason, but they have not yet announced any different version. They only have snapshots available. And for you being intermediate, it will be very hard for you to go ahead and actually use the snapshot. So as of now, just install the Python 2.7.9, and just also I'll teach you how to go ahead and download the Python WX Python also, so that it will be easier for us to go ahead and proceed with that. And to make things easier to follow, I'll use a running example in this chapter. Our task will be to create a basic program that enables us to edit text files. Writing a full-fledged text editor is beyond the scope of this chapter, but I'll stick to the essentials. And after all, my goal is to demonstrate the basic mechanisms of GUI programming in Python. And the requirements for this minimal text editor that I would be creating today would be that it should allow us to open files that are already there in the systems. To give these files specific names, it must allow us to edit these files, to save these files, and it should also quit in the end. And when writing a GUI program, GUI is a short form for graphic user interface, in case you're just confused. And when writing a GUI program, it's often useful to draw a sketch of how we want it to look, a simple layout in short. So in the one which I would be creating would be something similar to this command line tool. The only difference would be here, it would be there would be options such as the name of the file that we want to open, an open tab, a save tab, and here it will be everything that I want to write. So, and the elements of this interface can be used such as type a file name in the text field to the left of the buttons, and click open to open that specific file. The text contained in the file is put in the text field at the bottom. That means it's over here, and we can edit the text as we want and what we want to write, and we can even save them. And there won't be any quit button as of now. I will just create open over here, a open tab, a save tab, and the name of the file, and over here its contents are, and there won't be any specific quit option. As soon as you quit the interpreter, the file will also get closed. So there are a plethora of platforms. Before writing a GUI program in Python, we have to decide which GUI platform we want to use. In a simple language, a platform is one specific set of graphical components accessible through a given Python module, such as a GUI toolkit. And there are n number of toolkits. One is the Tkinter. It uses a TK platform. It's also readily available, but it's a semi-standard, and Tkinter is available for Python programming 3.4 as well. But I think that since WX Python is more popular, it's based on Windows and it's a standardized platform, I would be using WX Python. And since WX Python does not support any version greater than 3.0, I'll be teaching you 2.7.9 in this specific version. And if in case you are trying to make a career in Python programming, you also need to know how Python 2.7.9 works, because most of the places Python 2.7.9 is still used there. That's the reason. Now there are several other versions of GUI toolkit such as Python Win, Java Swing, PyGTK or PyQt, and it's also but these are more popular in the Linux version, and as of now I am considering that most of us are using the Windows version. That's why I'll be using the WX Python. And yes, that's it. So I'll just teach you how we can go ahead and download these files, specific file. I'll just go ahead and type over here in Google as WX Python. We can go on to this page. You can see that there are different types of Python, and Python Classic is not available for Python 3.4. Don't get confused by this version, because this version and the version of Python 3.4, they are totally different. This is the version name for WX Python and not Python 3.0. So as you can see that in the left pane over here, there are several different. So if you are using Linux, you can use Linux. If you are using Mac, then you can go and download the Mac version. In my case, I would be using the Microsoft Windows, so I just clicked over there. And after that, I would just go ahead and check. These are demo versions. If you don't know which Python you are, and just make sure that whenever you are downloading WX Python, download the specific version that you have. As of now, let's say the best version that I can think of in Python would be, there are only two versions, Python 3.4.3 and Python 2.7.9. If you are using Python 3.2 or 2.9 or 2.4, then don't consider using those, because most of them are deprecated as of now. Only these two versions are most popular. And coming to this part, just make sure that whichever version you have, just download the same version of Python, WX Python. If you don't, then it won't work. It won't be able to detect the Python in our system and it won't work. That is the reason. So if you have Python 2.6, these are the versions for this version. And just in case you don't want to straight away go ahead and download and install this file, you can also download the demo version over here. You can check whether it supports, and after it supports, you can straight away go ahead and download the specific one do you want. So as of now, I am using Python 32-bit Python over here, so I'll be using this version. Once I click over there, it will take me to the download site and it will start downloading, but I don't need to do that since I already have the Python version over here. That's 2.7.9 and it's for the same version. Just after it is installed, just double click on that, run, and just go ahead and next. I won't be doing that since I have already installed that, but just for you to know, you can just go ahead and install this specific file. And yep, that's it for as of now. I have showed you how we can go ahead and download. For Mac OS X Python, we should use the WX version that agrees with our Python version. But if you're using Linux, then you don't need to worry about all this, because if you are using a Linux distribution with RPM, we should at least download the WX Python common and runtime packages along with that. And if you are using Linux, you will probably know what runtime packages are. So if none of the binaries are fitting your hardware or operating system, you can always download the source distribution. Getting this to compile might require further downloading source packages for various prerequisites, but I won't be teaching you that because that is beyond the scope of this chapter. And just in case you're using, the best thing would be if you're using Linux and you're just using aptitude get install command line to install, then you don't need to worry about getting any wrong version on your Linux, because it will straight away select the actual and the perfect version for your Python, the version of Python that you have in your system. So yeah, to see how our installation works, we could just try out the Python demo that I told you. In Windows, it should be available in the start menu, and once you have installed, you will see it over there. You don't need to use any of these. Just go ahead and open the Python shell, and you can just import all and each and every program that you have in the Python 2.7.9 shell. So you don't need to specifically go ahead and open the WX Python version. So that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I will be teaching you how we can go ahead and start for making our specific text editor program.